Very good afternoon and welcome students to another session in the series Digital Marketing. To give you a quick recall, last time we had discussed about Facebook and LinkedIn marketing, and in today's session we would be having an overview of what is search engine marketing. Now first of all, we need to understand as to what is search engine marketing. In the words of Weber, in the year 2000, he defined search engine marketing as a searchable catalog or a database or a directory of different websites of a large size. So, what happens is, students, the search engines discover sites on the web and then order them based on relevance to a particular search which has been put up by the user. Now, when we talk about different search engines which are available in India, we find that Google dominates the market with a complete total share of around 97%. Other search engines like Bing or DuckDuckGo or Yahoo, they have a smaller market share in comparison to what Google currently enjoys. However, though different search engines are prominently used, they often make use of different search methodologies and different algorithm that runs at the back end, and therefore it is not necessary that they will give you the same search result. Digital marketing strategy makes use of search engine marketing in order to increase the overall visibility of a website in the search engine result pages, which are also known as SERPs. Let us first understand how the early search engines used to work and what in fact were the problems that they used to face while they worked on those search engines. The earlier search engines, they suffered from poor quality and outdated machine generated sales results. The listings that they used to show were also poorly or randomly ordered, and therefore the entire business model using the search engine was more flawed with poor revenue generation, where there were more options related to free to subscribe and things like that. When you look at the search engines today, we find that today's algorithms have become much advanced, and through the search engines, consumers exactly find the information at the right time and at the right place when they need the same. The search engines working also today is more non-intrusive and does not interrupt the task of the consumers in any way. Those search engines may be used for different kind of searches, but popularly it is used for paid search advertising. When students we look at the overall working of search engine marketing, we find that search engines use complicated algorithms to ensure that most relevant results are returned for each search. While they give you the results of the search, they also ensure that they include certain filters or they give you the results based on certain other parameters like the location of the user and other available information about the person who is making that search. Now, when we talk about search engine result pages, that is once you type a search on the search bar of a search engine, we find that there are certain result pages that come up. How those result pages are positioned, how a search engine result page positions itself. Now, this is a web page that a search engine like maybe Google or Yahoo or any search engine that is being used, it returns that as a result of the user search. A SERP or a search engine result page is divided into different core sections. At the top, there are certain paid listings. The listings which come below the advertising, they are organic search results or the listing that are featured on a SERP because they are relevant to the terms which have been put up by the user on the search bar and therefore, based on what the user has entered into the search engine, it gives you the results. Listings which are students usually displayed on the first page of the search engine, they give you highest search traffic. The higher the listing, the more clicks we see that it is likely to receive. Generally, it is seen that paid listings generate a 30% click-through rate, with organic listings making up the remaining of the percentage, around 70%. Therefore, it is important to note that as listing positions get lower, click-through rates are also going to come down drastically. So, it is important that your searches or your listings are displayed on the first page, and not only on the first page, but they also appear somewhere on the top. Approximately, it is also seen that around 67-70% of the click-through that you get on a page on the SERP occur in the first 5 results, and that is why I said that it is not only important to have it on the first page, it is always good to have it within the first 5 search results that you are going to get, because a low listing will ultimately affect not only your conversion rate, but also the other ways in which the user is going to look at the whole process of search engine use. So, once again, it is important that the firm or the person who is using search engines for its digital marketing efforts, it should strive for top 5 or top 3 positions. As I told you that search engines make use of lot of information, and those information take into account not only the user profile, but also the location of the person who is making that search, which is also known as location based search. So, the search engines, they also take into account the location of the person who is searching, so that they can deliver you the most applicable search results. Thus, it is very important for a firm to make sure that all elements of the form are completely filled up, so that you can grab the user attention. You need to provide the category, description, pictures, videos, and so on, so that if the form is complete with respect to all the elements of the information, then it is more likely that you are going to connect with that particular user in terms of the search that you are going to pop up. Google operates a 5-star rating scheme. So, customers should be usually encouraged to review and rate business and learn from that. While listings with higher review scores and maybe some sort of additional material won't necessarily increase your search engine result page positioning, but they are certainly going to give you a higher click-through rate than the ones who do not come with these kind of characteristics, that is, they do not come up with the higher review scores or some additional material to back. When we look at the search engines and how the user is actually using those search engines to get the results, it is very important to understand the overall behavior. So, every time a user is searching something, they are going to give some information about themselves, and then this information can further be categorized to analyze the consumer needs. To influence search engine behavior, one needs to actually go in depth and do a lot of research in terms of what your target audience is looking for, how they go about the entire process of searching for something relevant, and after the search what they expect to find. There are various tools and various methods which are used in search engine marketing, like your keyword analysis, your competitor analysis, your search analytics, surveys, user testing, which can help you in identifying the most relevant keywords or topics, questions, formats, styles that can be embedded in your content, and therefore the search will turn out to be more useful. In this regard, students, it is important for us to learn about the search insight model. So, there is a DMI's 5P customer search insight model. What is this model? This is a framework. Now, this is a proven framework, this is well established, and this model helps the businesses to unlock the mysteries behind the consumer search behavior and helps to transform them into the converted consumers with the help of digital marketing efforts. As I said, though it is a proven framework, but it is not standardized, it is not universally recognized framework, but can be more looked at as a strategic approach to search engine marketing. So, this is exactly what is required as a strategy when you as a business use search engine for your digital marketing efforts. Now, what are we doing within this framework, within this customer search insight model? We are trying to adapt the marketing P's. So, the P's that we have, 4 P's plus 5th becomes people. So, it is product, price, place, promotion and people. Now, these P's are adapted to the search engine journey. So, what is the customer search engine journey? Rather than just focusing on the internal marketing mix, we are trying to adapt these P's to the consumer search journey. Now, when we look at these 5 P's in this manner, that is, we are looking at a more adapted P structure, which is going to help us in answering certain questions related to the consumer search behavior on search engines. We look at these 5 P's as purpose. So, the first P is purpose. So, when you have the purpose, within this, what kind of questions it answers you is what search query or problem is the customer trying to solve? What are they indeed looking for and why? So, the entire search engine marketing strategy is to be revisited with the perspective of what the consumer's purpose is to use the search engine. People, who is your audience, who is your customer? Process, how does the customer actually follows the entire process of making some search? Platform, where do they search it? So, which is the platform? Performance, how do the firms gauge or measure the performance of their search marketing efforts, search engine marketing efforts? Now, with every search, as I said, user is going to give you some information, user is also going to leave some small pieces of information which can be useful for the marketer. So, when we do the customer search through the insight model by adapting the 5 P's to the search journey, one gets a better understanding of customers' behavior. Like I said, that you are going to, from a customer point of view, you are going to get a lot of information about the person, like the age, gender, religion, language, all kind of socio-demographic, socio-economic information. You can also, by making use of place and by adapting this particular P to your model, you can as a firm discover the country or the place or the location where the customer is in or is at, and whether that location is classified as urban and rural, and then can make the search which would be relevant to him, produce the search result which would be useful to him. On the product side, we say that when you learn about the customers and when you learn what they are searching and why they are searching, so you can provide the search results which are of particular interest to that person in terms of topic, in terms of interest area or subject area, and therefore, what is exactly the pain or the need which is prompting the user to put in something on the search. When you study this behavior, it also helps the firms to prioritize, not only the Consumer is prioritizing something in the form of its search query, but the kind of search query that he or she puts in, it gives you an indication of customer's purchasing time, the urgency with which he is searching something, the urgency with which he needs a product and a service, and what is the window period, what is the time period that the firm has to engage the customer and then push him towards or take him slowly and gradually to the conversion stage. When the consumer actually reaches the purchase stage, how the firm is going to get an idea of that? You can find out what they want to buy, how they are going to buy it, where the users want to buy that particular area, and exactly what is their stage in the purchase model. So, by linking all these things, students, it would be more useful for a firm or for the search engines to come up with those search results which exactly match the query which the consumer has put in. Before we move ahead and understand the entire system, let me acquaint you with some of the terms that we are using in very popularly when we talk about search engine marketing. The first search term you must have come across is pogo sticking. Now, what is pogo sticking? This happens when the user visits several different search results in order to find a result that maximally satisfies their search query. What is the dwell time? Now, the user is going to spend some time on a page from the search results before returning to the search engine result page. So, it goes from pages to pages and then come back to your search engine result page. Bounce rate. So, what is a bounce? A single page session on your site. Let us now talk about, as I said, that search engine marketing is more prominently used for search advertising. So, let us now talk more about search advertising. This usually takes the form of paid search, which is also given a term PPC, which is pay per click. What actually is pay per click? It is a revenue model, or this can be understood as a revenue model which the search engine adopts, whereby the advertiser pays only when a user is going to click on an ad. In paid search advertising, the sponsored ads appear on the top and on the side of the search engine result pages to gain more visibility, to come up with more prominent results than the organic results. So, there are certain sponsored ads and there are certain other kind of ads which are generated in an organic manner. Why are we doing this? Why we focus on the paid search when the consumers also have an option of display? So, they come through the display, the firms also have an option of display advertising, but they still go for paid search advertising. Why? Because of the advantages. One such advantage is that it drives traffic. Now, sometimes the kind of display ads that you come across as a consumer may not interest you because you are not searching for that and you are not interested in whatever actually comes as a display. So, when you are typing something and you are searching specifically for something, obviously those who are searching for something specific, they are going to come on that particular search engine, and therefore, it is going to drive traffic. It is going to optimize your overall budget because it would be more focused in terms of the search which is being put up. So, instead of unnecessarily displaying something which the consumer may not be interested in, you are optimizing the entire budget which has to go in your advertising by linking it to your paid search advertising. You can also track the capabilities, how well you are doing and how your paid search is really giving you business and is really giving you revenue. and you can target the audience, and we will look in the subsequent section as to how audience targeting can be done, and there are various kinds of audiences that can be targeted using the search engine as a platform. So, in nutshell, not only this is going to help you in capturing the content and giving you more such control in terms of not only the cost but also analytics but also competition. We also see that the way the ads are placed in case of search engines are important for an organization to understand how the search is going to result into conversions. One such, you can say, key tool which is embedded in the search engine marketing in when you make use of search engines or when you make use of paid searches is keywords. So, we can say that keywords are the most important element of search. So, when you write something, what you type as keywords on the search bar actually is going to be a determinant of what is going to come back as the search results. Now, you can have three tails. At the shorter tail, you usually have a presentation template, which is, so people search high, there is a high search volume, but low conversion rate, or there can be some words which are presented on it, they are not very generic, but moderately, they invite moderate search volume. So, I would say if I write something on travel and tourism, it is going to generate a lot of search volume. If I say eco-tourism, then it is going to cut it down and is going to moderate the search volumes in terms of only restricting the search results to the ecotourism aspect, or the long tail where I can look for some research in the area of ecotourism, and therefore, the search volume is going to be low, and but there will be high conversion rate in that case. Therefore, what is the key? If you ask me what exactly the user should do while he or she is making use of certain keywords to develop the search query, and what then the marketer or the firm or the business should be doing so that you are able to give back the appropriate search results to them, which is going to boost up your business and revenue, because that is the reason why you are making use of search engine marketing. It is very important, students, that at this stage you learn that mapping your keywords to the consumer buying funnel is very important for any firm. As I said, when the consumer is in the awareness stage, you can come across the keywords which are very generic, like one wants to know more about smartphones, because I am not aware what are smartphones, why do you call certain devices to be smartphone devices, and then I would be interested to know more about 4G smartphones. So, after learning, after becoming aware of my smartphones, only then I will be looking at 2G, 3G, 4G smartphones or 5G smartphones. So, once the awareness of smartphones is going to sink in, only then I will be interested to go further. And if I am looking in the action stage, my keyword has to be even more specific. So, now I am, after doing all the searches, now I am ready to buy Samsung 4G smartphone. So, I want to more look into Samsung 4G smartphones, and I am likely to go ahead and buy one. Now, how this information is ranked? As I say that paid searches go up and down, and the advertiser is going to pay only when the consumer is going to click on that particular search, which is the paid search. The position of the ad on the search result page, that is SERP, is determined by what? Two things: a combination of the bid amount, so what is the cost per click CPC, and what is the ad quality score. When you talk about the bid amount, we say there can be real bid that can be given. There is a complete bid strategy, and we will be talking about that bid strategy after a while. We have already seen in the previous sessions that one has to look into, an advertiser has to look into the relevance of the ad copy. When we were having a discussion on content marketing, we also had a discussion on this as to how your content can be created in such a manner that it becomes relevant for a user or for a consumer. So, while you are making use of paid advertising and paid search advertising, the ad copy then assumes a very important role, because you are going to use those words to convince a consumer to take a specific action, to click on the website or on the link, or to make a purchase or to sign up a service, and then only the whole process of paid search will come to a closure. With this, students, will come to an end and will take the discussion forward with respect to the paid search. Thank you.